That's why Prabhupada would say that sleeping is a waste of time. And I found that, I remember, that was quite some time back, 30, 40 years back, I was talking to an Ayurvedic doctor and he says, once you get 6 hours of sleep a night, but when you hit 50, then for every 10 years, you need 1 hour less. So that means, 60 is, you're gonna need 5 hours, 70 is 4 hours, 70, 80 is 3 hours. That's how Sri Prabhupada only slept about, sometimes he didn't, but generally about 3-4 hours at night. And I'm gonna take a nap always after lunch, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And it works, I can see it works, but if you go swimming, then you gotta be strong. You have to, that's a whole different story. I mean, if someone is exercising or doing, that's why yoga is the most sattvic exercise, because it doesn't require physical strength. Everything else requires physical strength. Running, swimming, this, that, you name it. You don't have to be strong. And to be strong, you have to be rested. To sit around, that's just a question of staying awake. That's a different story. But and Sri Prabhupada's maximum is an hour-long walk, although it was Sri Prabhupada was extraordinary. And but yes, Prabhupada would often when he gives class, he talks about the less you eat, the less you sleep, the more you advance spiritually. As much as one can decrease the demands of the senses. Let's go near Maharaj. We were talking at lunch, and topic came up about Vrindavan Bābājīs. Very austere they are. So, strictly speaking, Bābājīs, they have 2 pieces of cloth. They have a chadar and they have a dhoti, and that's it. Bas. Which is in Vrindavan weather very really little, very austere. And there's a certain part of Vrindavan, it's called Tatavan, and the Tatvan Bābājīs who live there, well, devotees, if you remember when you go on Vrindavan Parikrama, once you've gone past Vrindavan and you keep going, then it's to the left. and it's very sandy, and it goes out to the Jamuna. It's bound by the Jamuna on the other side. Uh, and there, the Bābājīs who reside there, they their claim is that they live like the Goswamis live. In other words, they sleep under tents, under trees, or at most they'll have a mud hut, and they have two pieces of cloth. They walk around barefoot. They do madhukari. So that's in a place where it can go down to 0 at night. It's very, very austere. And that Prabhupada noted that just by nature, I mean, Indian people by nature are austere. We were walking on Sunday up the road, and this rickshaw came. 1 seat, 2 seats, driver's seat. So there were 4, 5, 3, which makes 7, 12. 12 people seated in there along with the rickshaw driver. For them, it's very natural. Now, if you were sitting in a rickshaw and 11 people tried to get in, what would you do? How would you try to kick them out, or you'd get off the rickshaw? So we're not, Westerners are not designed for austerity. And of course, as time moves on and we become more and more modern, down to who's to say what modern day people born in India are like. But in any case, yes, Bābājī life is quite austere. No air conditioning, no heating. And now, comparatively, we live like kings. And for I can say that to so many facilities. Srila Prabhupada said, wherever I go, I have 108 palaces, and in each palace, I mean, it wasn't actually like that. They weren't all palaces, and in each palace, I have my rooms and accommodation. That was true. Prabhupada always, once temples were there, Prabhupada always stayed in the temple, and he had his own rooms, own quarters. And, we have these facilities, although they belong to the Hungarian Yatra, and still eat so nicely, dressed in silk cloths. There's another type of devotees in Vrindavan who wear gunny sack material. Gunny sack is that very coarse material that they would make like potato bags, big potato sacks out of. So they wear that, and that's all they wear, one big piece. And I remember talking to one such sadhu. He was very nice. He came to Vrindavan to one of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day. And he had some acquaintance with Prabhupada, so he spoke also. And even when he was sitting and talking, the thing would sort of fall off. He'd have to keep rolling it up, and you don't even wear kalpins. So yeah, very very austere, and so then I said, well, it's either that or preaching. So either you do, and Srila Prabhupada would say that either you accept those austerities or you preach, you serve Lord Chaitanya's preaching mission. And then when you do that, Krishna gives all these facilities. He lets go of all of these tapodivya putra padina sattvam, sujit. There's no spiritual life without tapasya. Without tapasya, especially for instance now, devotees are going out on Christmas marathons, selling books on the street. Even just preaching is a tapasya, and then maintaining the results of preaching, that's a real tapasya. So, but that's valued so much by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Lord Chaitanya didn't say, well, I mean, Bhagavatam says, Stane stita shitagatan. Stay where you are and just chant and hear. But that wasn't specifically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Jaridekatarika Krishna Pradesh, Pritiviti Achiyatra Nagaradigram. He wanted Krishna consciousness spread all over the world, every town and village. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu values that so much that he gives all of these things. He gives all of these facilities. One has to be careful not to indulge or be bewildered by the opulence that comes as a result of preaching and all of the facilities. But yeah, Srila Prabhupada said Krishna doesn't want devotees to be in want. He will provide them everything because Yaidam Paramam because he values this so much more than, all right, someone may be a pure devotee chanting, but and chanting is important, but that wasn't exactly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's plan. There is in Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's O Vaishnava Brahmana, he talks about an equivalence between the Bābājī and the preacher, and something to the effect that a Uttama Bābājī is equivalent to a Kanishta preacher. Something like that. So someone who's just engaged in chanting here, in specific, he's talking about people who just reside in a holy place, worship deities. To make such a big distinction. So this is why Srila Prabhupada really would emphasize it. If you want to be recognized by Krishna, then preach. This is the secret, Prabhupada would say, this is secret, open secret, that if you want Krishna's attention, then preach. So many ways of preaching. It's good to explore them all. Devotees should have the experience of prasadam distribution, of going out distributing books, doing Harinam, preaching to devotees, that is also, and Krishna refers to that type of preaching, both in Bhagavatam and in Bhagavad Gita. He's talking about preaching to the devotees. Of course, Prabhupada says, well, everybody's a devotee. Nitya Sita Krishna Prema Sangha Kavana, everybody's a devotee. But of course, those who are already practitioners are more devotee than those who are just covered. So both are there. Prabhupada came under a lot of criticism. He came under a lot of criticism from his godbrothers, from the Brahminical caste, from Goswamis, and for instance, the whole concept of selling books, that here's books that are for people with a high qualification, and not even people don't have qualification, they don't necessarily want the books, and yet still we induce them to take it. Some that they don't read, one thing, that they throw the books away, throw Bhagavatam away. I know that especially when we used to distribute books, we would always, especially in a fixed place like at the airport, then the last thing we do in the evenings is do the rounds and of the garbage cans and just pick up and see what books people threw away. Taking Bhagavatam, pulling it out of the garbage bin. But that's the risk for preaching, and no, it's above criticism. Krishna knows. Srimad Bhagavatam knows what's the greater benefit. Trying to make other people Krishna conscious, or risk that offense is made to the holy name. This is the Maha Mantras on it. Offense is made to Bhagavatam. But is offense made? Because an offense is only made if offense is taken. But does Srimad Bhagavatam take offense? This is what Bhagavatam personified wants. So there's no offense. As for confidential things, it's confidential. What will happen? Well, that's also a risk that some people may sort of misunderstand. Here's Krishna dancing with other people's wives, and a lot of, one thing is confidential, and the other thing is things that people are not going to believe. That, like the Bhumandala is being held up by 4 elephants, that the universe is being held up by 4 elephants. People are not going to believe that. And they're also, not going to believe that it's only 4 million miles across. And they're not going to believe that Maharaj Ugrasen had, 10 quadrillion soldiers. There are so many things, or that, Krishna and Balaram went up this mountain that was 84 miles high, something, and it jumped off from the top. Well, where's the 84-mile high mountain? So Himalayas are like 35,000 feet, which is, how many feet is miles? 10 miles. So, and Mount Everest. So it's all, but still, we're here. So many people are here, and we're all here from what? We're all here because, yes, we came across. I was going to read, but I know one of my first experiences was reading the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, and uh, just like here, in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the real picture of material world is given. Urdhva Mulam Adasaka. And I'm thinking, just hang on a minute. Prabhupada's trying to establish the validity of Bhagavad Gita, and he's quoting Bhagavad Gita. How does that work? Or the whole concept that it's just self-evident proof that does not require, that cannot be uh, correlated because it's not subject to any type of proof. It is the ultimate proof. You just have to accept it as it is. I mean, people say, oh, that's just like any other religion. You just got to accept it as it is. And, yeah, you have to accept it as it is because Asamardram is, or it is apurusaya. It is beyond mental speculation, sensory perception, or the type of evidence that we're used to. So pratyaksha, but here now this is shabda, and shabda is that you just have to accept that it's perfect. So it's a real challenge, preaching, but to those who really take that up as a especially lifelong engagement, then Krishna says, no one is as dear to me as they. So no one's as dear. And ultimately that's what we want. No, we don't have the ability to be austere like the Bābājīs, and hard to get devotees to even memorize verses, what to speak of know Bhagavad Gita off by heart, or Bhagavatam, or be real scholars. But all of these things are yogakshema vahamiyaham, ananyas chintayantomam. So worship me with love and devotion. Yagya Sankirtana prayer, Yajanti Sumedasa. This is how you worship in this age. This is the worship that Shastra proclaims. So, anyhow, that evidence, where that has to be our commitment. There's this wonderful from Gita Mahatmya, and then there's the Shankaracharya's glorification of Bhagavad Gita. Ekam Shastram Devakiputra Gītam, Ekam Devo Devakiputra Eva, ekam mantrastasya namami jani karmapi ekam tasya devasya seva. Ekam shastram devaki putra gita. So let there just be one shastra, which is Bhagavad Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. And let there just be one God. And that's the son of Devaki, Krishna. Eko Mantras. Let just there be one mantra. Namami Jani, which is chanting Krishna's names. Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. And let there just be one word, which is devotional service to Krishna. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Dear devotees, tomorrow is Wednesday, and end our session for today. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai.